1. Let's make a collectible item for our player. Our player is a robot, and the player needs to collect things during the game to get more life. So, the player being a robot, let's make the player collect a battery to give it more electricity and therefore give it more life in the game. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go resize the canvas because I don't want a 64 by 64 this time. I want it to be smaller. I want it 32 by 32. Keeping it as a multiple of 32 is always a good idea. It means things fit together with a bit less bother in the game. Click resize. There we go. And that should be a 32 by 32. Yes, it is. Canvas. Right. What should we do first? Let's go to the top. I'm going to select my stroke tool to try and make my first pixel appear in the middle. I want to find out where the middle is, just so I can do a symmetrical drawing. It's not really a big deal, but if it is a little bit off center, you can just click and drag and move it. But I like to start off by working where the middle, working out where the middle is. So I've clicked there and it's given me 1 pixel. Okay, that's how I know I'm in the middle. If I click there, what have I done? So I wonder if that's the middle. No, that's given me 2 pixels. Move it over 1. That's given me 2 pixels even further away. 2 pixels. 2 pixels. Doesn't look like it's going to give me. So I'm going to come somewhere near the middle, and what I want is 2 pixels. There's 2 pixels. I'm going to do another 2 and another 2. That's going to be the top of my battery. I'm going to come down 2 pixels. And then I'm going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pixels. Then I'm going to come down, switch to my stroke tool, draw a line. And now, of course, I don't have the mirror tool available to me now. So I'm going to go as far as I can. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. That looks good. And then I'm just going to draw a line across the bottom like that. All right, excellent. I think what I'm also going to do is connect those 2 lines up. Excellent, so that's the outline of our battery, and all I need to do now is do some shading. So I'm going to start with the overall body of the battery first. So I want my darkest grey colour, and I want to come out 3 pixels, or 3. I want to come in 3 pixels from the edge. 1, 2, 3. Click. Draw a line. Doesn't have to be like massively accurate. And then bucket fill the line. So 3 pixels, 1, 2, 3. Draw a line, and then that enables me to bucket fill with that colour. And that should be a dark grey colour. Excellent. It's not my darkest grey though, is it? So I'm going to select my darkest grey. That's much better. All right. Now I want another 3 pixels, but I want my lightest grey because this is the bit of the battery which is nearest to us. 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 3 pixels. Oop. I want the line tool. 1, 2, 3. Draw the line like that. I'm going to make that a bit thicker actually. Do another line. Bucket fill. fill. All right, and now I progressively darken my shades of grey. So I'll go the next darkest shade. 3 pixels approximately. Yeah, and I've bucket filled the whole thing. All right. A little bit darker. Stroke tool. So, stroke tool. Darker shade. Draw a line. Bucket fill. Let's go lighter. Stroke tool. This is going to work nicely. And sorry, we go darker at this point. We want bucket fill. What have I done? What I want to do now is do a series of stripes so I've got my darkest shade there, my lightest shade there. I want to do a series of stripes getting gradually darker again as we go round the circumference of the battery. This is to try and give it a bit of an illusion of being round. So the next darkest shade is going to be that one. And draw a line. Draw a line, not a bucket fill, so stroke tool. That's good. Now bucket fill. So that looks a bit darker. Same thing again. Draw a line. So stroke tool again. Draw a line. Bucket fill. And now we're back to our darkest colour. And I don't need to draw a line, do I? So bucket fill should do me. Okay, so that just gives the illusion of the battery being a little bit round. Now I go into my gold style colours, and I want my darkest gold style colour, and I want my pen, and I want to just do it like that. Then, same as before, lightest gold style colour, which is almost a yellow. That looks good. Go a bit darker. Yep, go a bit darker still. And we need some darker yellows, don't we? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a new tool. So I'm going to do 2 pixels. And I'm going to go into lighten and darken, which is this icon here. And I just click on the 2 pixels that I've just drawn, but I hold down Command as I'm doing it, and it should darken them. See, there you go. Now I'm going to use my color picker tool, and I'm going to swap that. If I click my last pixel, it should get the color, and you can see it's a little bit darker. So if I go into my pen tool and go like that, I've now got 4 pixels of the same color. So I use my darken tool, bring my mouse over it, hold down Command, and click on each pixel. So it gets darker. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lighten that one as well, because I think that's a little bit too much of a contrast. So this time with that selected, I just click on it without pressing Command, and it'll lighten it. I'm going to lighten it some more. One more time. Yeah, that's okay. I might just try that colour instead. That's a bit better. So you can see we've got the dark shade of the body of the battery. We've got the dark shade of the body of the battery kind of matching up with that. And then we go lighter, And then as we go round the battery and as we go round the top, it gets a little bit darker again, and that gives us the illusion, hopefully, of it being a little bit round. All right, next thing I've got to do is draw a lightning bolt. I thought I'd have a lightning bolt just to show that it's electricity that we're dealing with. So I'm going to go for my darkest colour, and for this I want my stroke tool, and I just draw a series of lines. So I click and drag to draw a series of lines, and I want my lines to be kind of straight and proportionate. That looks good. Draw another line there. That looks good. Zigzag that way. Zigzag that way. And then come out that way again. That looks good. And that looks good. All right. That looks okay, I think. All right. Now what we've got to do is bucket fill. And I'm going to start by bucket fill, using bucket fill to just fill in the whole of the lightning bolt. Okay, now I need to use my lighten tool, and I want to lighten all of the pixels in this section and then lighten these even more. So I'm just going to click once on every pixel in this section to lighten it. Move it across. Because I want the shading to match the shading I've already done. Doesn't matter if it's not entirely consistent, that kind of just makes it a bit more interesting, but overall I want to lighten these pixels. You can see I've mistakenly pressed the icon twice on some of them. If I want to undo that, I can just press Command and do it again, and that'll darken it. But I'm not sure it's a bad idea to do that, because it just makes it look a bit more interesting. Okay, now I need to click twice on all of these because these are on a lighter section. So I just click twice. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's not so many. All right, that looks good. That looks good. What I want to do now is animate my battery because I want this lightning bolt to flash gold in the game just to attract the player's attention to it a little bit more. I don't think I lighten that one. Let's lighten that one. So I just want one more frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this frame. And then I'm going to bucket fill with a gold color. Let's try that one. Bucket fill. And you see, because we've changed the color of the lightning bolt, it only bucket fills the middle section. That's good. I'm going to bucket fill that. I'm going to bucket fill that. And I'm going to lighten those two bits that I've just bucket filled. So lightning tool, just click on it. Make it a bit lighter. Now I'm going to go back to bucket fill. I'm going to bucket fill these two bits here. And this time I'm going to darken them. So I hold down Command. Maybe it's Control if you're on a Windows computer. Hold down Command and darken them. But I'm not in my light and dark tool, so I'll do that again. In my lighten tool, hold down Command, click. Hold down Command, click, 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 click. So now we have 3 shades, a light shade, a middle shade, and a dark shade, just to match the shading on the battery. And in the game, it's just going to flash on and off. just to attract the attention of the player. I probably didn't need to do the lightning bolt, but I think it'll be a good feature in the game, and it'll just add to the experience just by flashing and attracting the player. And then the player knows that it might be worth collecting. Right, please save it as at least a Piscol, but ideally also as a sprite sheet and as individual PNGs, just like we've done before. We'll call that job done, and I will see you in the next section.